Let's talk about the books on your shelf for a second. Are they just sitting there looking pretty, or are they a secret weapon just waiting to be used? Today, we are going to dive into a method that turns reading from this, passive habit into an active, powerful tool for generating real-world ideas and solutions. It's called idea reading, and honestly, it might just change everything for you.
Oh, we've all been there, right? You get that jolt of electricity from a great book, an insight that feels like you could change the world. But then, a week goes by, where did it go? The details get all hazy, that fire of inspiration starts to fade, and that amazing book just becomes another object on your shelf. Well, today, we're here to end that cycle for good.
So, the huge shift happens right here, inside your head. It's all about your mindset. Most of us, we were taught information reading. You collect facts, you hoard knowledge, and the result is usually a passive, that's interesting. But idea reading, that's a totally different game. It's an active hunt for solutions. The goal isn't just to know something, it's to walk away with a plan. You stop being a consumer of information and you start becoming a creator of ideas.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we're going to rewire our reading mindset. Then, we'll learn how to ask the right questions before we even open the book. After that, we'll get into the fun part, the alchemy of connecting totally unrelated ideas. Then we'll turn those insights into concrete actions. And finally, we'll build the mindset of a true innovator.
All right, let's jump right into part one, reading beyond the words. To really make this stick, we have to start at the foundation. This isn't just some clever reading hack. It's about building a completely new relationship with the books you read.
So what exactly is idea reading at its core? Well, think of it like this. A book is not a lecture. It's a conversation. It's an active search where your mind is constantly buzzing, asking questions like, okay, but how does this apply to my life? How does this help with my goals? You're not just a reader anymore. You're a detective on the hunt for clues you can actually use.
Okay, on to our first practical technique. And this one might actually surprise you. The most important work of idea reading, it happens before you even read the first page. It's all about priming your brain to become an idea-finding machine.
This little three-step process is like creating a laser beam for your brain. First, get super specific about a problem you're actually facing. Second, pull out the main concepts, the key words. And finally, you mash them together into a powerful solution question. This question totally transforms your reading from, say, a casual stroll into a focused, targeted mission.
All right, now we get to the most creative part of this whole thing, what I like to call idea alchemy. This is where true innovation just sparks to life. It's not about inventing something out of thin air, but about seeing the hidden connections between things that already exist all around you.
The formula, it looks almost ridiculously simple, right? Take a concept from a book, smash it together with a totally different problem from your life, and see what new thing emerges from the collision. It sounds a little abstract, I know, but let me show you an absolutely brilliant example of how this works in the real world.
Okay, so imagine you're reading a book about animal ecology. You come across this fascinating tidbit. In a huddle, penguins take turns moving to the protected center to shield their young from the brutal, freezing cold. Pretty cool piece of information, right?
Now, let's say you're a teacher and you have this one big problem. You're trying to help a student who's really falling behind. On the surface, these two things, penguins and education, they seem like they're from completely different planets. And this is the lightning strike moment. You apply that penguin principle to your classroom and you invent the penguin learning method. The struggling student becomes the chick in the protected center, and their classmates rotate in to offer support and tutoring. It is a beautiful, effective idea born from connecting two completely unrelated worlds.
And that penguin method, that's just one way to do it. You could also reinterpret the past. Think about how medieval guilds could inspire a support system for modern freelancers. Or you can try reverse thinking. If everyone says listening is good, when might silence be even more powerful? But one of the most powerful techniques of all is digging for the real problem.
This technique, the 5 whys, is a fantastic example of relentless curiosity. So the story goes that the Jefferson Memorial was literally decaying. The surface problem seemed to be the harsh cleaning chemicals. But by asking why, again and again and again, they went from the cleaning to the bird droppings to the spiders to the midges, and finally discovered the root cause. The lights were being turned on too early, attracting all the bugs. The solution wasn't about cleaning at all. It was about the light switch. Idea reading is about finding that hidden switch.
So you've done it. You found an incredible insight. Now, this is the point where most people stop, but an idea reader knows this is actually the most critical step of all, turning that abstract concept into something you can touch, something real.
You have got to burn this equation into your brain. It's the core principle of this entire section. A brilliant idea that just stays in your notebook has an impact of exactly 0. But even a simple idea, when you actually execute it, can create massive value. The magic is in the multiplication.
So how do we actually build that bridge between an idea and reality? Well, we make the idea smart. I know you've probably seen this framework 100 times, but there's a reason it's a classic. It works. It turns these vague wishes into concrete plans. The difference between I'll read more and I will read for 15 minutes every single night before bed starting tonight, well, that's the difference between dreaming and doing.
And here's a super simple but really powerful template you can put to use immediately. First, you capture the key insight from the book. Second, you define exactly how you are going to apply it. And third, and this is the most critical part, you identify the absolute smallest first step you can possibly take. Don't think big, think tiny. What can you do in the next 5 minutes to get the ball rolling?
And look, this stuff really works. Take this student. Problem: could not wake up for class. They read about habit stacking, this idea of connecting a new habit to one you already have. Their action plan was so simple. The moment the alarm goes off, drink a glass of water. And that one tiny action snowballed, turning them into a morning person and even boosting their grades. That's the power of one small executed idea.
Okay, let's bring it all home. This whole process is more than just a set of techniques. It's about adopting a new identity, both as a reader and as a thinker. If you remember just one thing from our time together, please let it be this. A book is just ink on paper. The ideas aren't in the book. They happen in the meeting, the conversation, between the book and a curious, active mind. Your mind. You bring your problems, your experiences, your unique creativity to the page. That's where the real magic is. So let's boil it all down to 4 key habits. Number 1, always read with a question. 2, always be on the hunt for surprising connections. 3, dig for the real underlying problem. And finally, the golden rule. Never, ever leave a great idea without a concrete first step. You know, by adopting this approach, you fundamentally change your relationship with information. You shift from being a passive consumer, just taking in whatever is presented, to being an active creator, a co-author of new solutions and new possibilities. So I'll leave you with this question. That book you've been meaning to read, the one on your nightstand, it's not just a story or a collection of facts. It's a toolbox. It's a catalyst. So what problem are you going to solve with it tonight?